In the grand story of America, few figures stand taller than Abraham Lincoln, the man who rose from the humblest beginnings to become one of the greatest leaders in history. Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 in a small log cabin in Hudson County, Kentucky. His family was poor and his early life was filled with hardship. His father, Thomas Lincoln, was a struggling farmer, and his mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, died when Abraham was just 9 years old. Despite this painful loss, young Abraham developed a deep hunger for learning. His formal education added up to less than a single year, but Lincoln never stopped studying. He borrowed books from neighbors, reading everything from the Bible to Shakespeare, from law books to works of science and philosophy. By firelight, he taught himself to write with clarity and to think with reason. This self-taught education shaped the mind that would one day guide a nation. As he grew, Lincoln worked as a farmhand, a rail splitter, a store clerk, and even a surveyor. But his greatest talent was his ability to speak with honesty and conviction. Step by step, he became a lawyer and then entered politics. Known as Honest Abe, he built a reputation for integrity and fairness. In 1860, Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. He took office in 1861, just as the nation was tearing apart over slavery. Southern states seceded from the Union, and soon the Civil War began, the bloodiest conflict in American history. Lincoln's first and most urgent mission was preserving the Union. He believed that America was more than just a collection of states. It was one nation born in liberty, and it must endure. His leadership during the war was marked by patience, determination, and vision. But Lincoln's legacy went even deeper. On January 1, 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that enslaved people in Confederate states were free. Though limited in scope at the time, it transformed the war into a struggle not just for unity, but for freedom and human rights. This act became the first step toward the abolition of slavery in the United States. Later that same year, Lincoln delivered one of the most powerful speeches in history, the Gettysburg Address. In just a few short lines, he reminded Americans that the war was about a new birth of freedom and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. His words still echo as a timeless promise of democracy. By 1865, the Union had triumphed. Slavery was on the path to being abolished forever, and Lincoln's vision of a united nation was closer than ever. But his story ended in tragedy. On April 14, 1865, just days after the war's end, Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Thutra in Washington, D.C. by John Wilkes Booth. He died the next morning at the age of 56. Lincoln became a martyr for freedom and unity. His life, from a humble background in a log cabin to leading the nation through its darkest hours to laying the foundation for equality, remains one of history's greatest journeys. Today, Abraham Lincoln is remembered not only as a president but as a symbol of hope, perseverance, and justice. His story proves that greatness can rise from the simplest of beginnings and that courage, honesty, and vision can reshape the destiny of nations. If you enjoyed this story of Abraham Lincoln, subscribe to Echoes of Greatness for more legends and untold stories of history.